On. This is the Loyal BBN Fan Show coming to you guys live. Uh, Pre Auburn weekend, so much on the line. The fans are itching for a win. We need a win. The fan base needs a win. Um, Going down to one of the hardest places to play basketball against the Auburn Tigers. And today, joining me today, I got a special guest on me, part of my second and none team. He represents Auburn. Kenny, what's going on, man? And the Wildcats is ready to come down to Auburn and see what happens.
Hey, I'm ready for it. It's game day. Actually, little facts for everybody. The last three times that Auburn has played Kentucky, game day has come either to Lexington or to Auburn. So that's pretty good facts. Pretty good, and they will be there this Saturday.
How could they not be there? I mean, this is gonna be. I mean, first of all, you got Auburn, so you guys' arena is one of the hardest arenas to play in. You guys are the loudest, rowdiest, all. This game is gonna be exciting from the tip off. I hope in favor of Kentucky. I hope Kentucky. Uh, what does Auburn got to come out to do in the first 5 minutes of the ball game?
Auburn's just got to play Auburn basketball. I mean, the thing that I'm worried about is Auburn's got to not let Kentucky slow them down. That's just that's the only thing. Just don't let Kentucky slow them down like Kentucky wants to do. The thing is, here's the only thing that worries me with Kentucky coming to town is that Calipari's a good coach, Bruce Pearl's a good coach, and these two they've got a game plan. I promise you, and they know what's at stake at this game. There is a lot at stake. A lot of Kentucky fans does I don't think realizes what's at stake for the SEC, but there is a lot at stake for Kentucky, and there's a lot at stake for Auburn. So it's going to be a really good showdown. It's going to probably be an instant classic. It
I
was
mean,
last time
it,
they played.
This is the game that we live for. If you're a Kentucky fan, you look forward to going on the road and spoiling people's parties and stuff like that. Um,
That's
for
going to be hard to
Kentucky,
do, Michael.
yeah, for Kentucky to for me, it's all about that first 5 minutes because Kentucky's got a history of this year falling down fast, and that's something. And so we got to exert so much energy in the first 5 minutes, just trying to just not lose the game. Rebounding is major. I mean, offensive rebounds during the ball game, like the first part of the ball game. Um, we're giving up way too many rebounds. Our defense has been suspect all year. It's no secret. It's not like it's a big secret in the world. We got one of the worst defenses in the country by far. Um, so we got to rebound and we got to play defense and like we need to come out and we need to set the tone. We like to get up and down the court and run. Your crowd is going to push you guys to get up and down the court and run. So at the end of the day, it's almost as if like who's going to who's going to set the tempo first and who's going to hit first to be able to, saying to pull that dominance. Right now, unless I just woke up, so I'm not sure if Trey Mitchell. I haven't seen anything about Trey Mitchell playing or not playing, and I think that's a big key for us because you guys is big Braun. He's a beast down low, and I don't say this, but I really feel like that um, we need him to be able to we need Trey Mitchell to come in and help us anchor that because I don't think our centers are strong enough to be able to battle down there.
Well, here's some stats. I mean, everybody knows I'm pulling for Auburn, but Auburn's 44-2 at home in the last 3 years. I mean, it's the last two teams to beat Auburn, which happened in the same year at home, was Ole Miss and Texas A&M. It's hard. It's Auburn over the last 3 years, two seasons of a perfect home record. That's extremely hard to do in the
That's hard
SEC.
to do. That used
I
to be
mean,
the standard for Rupp Arena, but that's not the standard anymore for Rupp Arena. We're taking too many bad losses at home. Um, I it UK is not what it used to be in years past. We're not protecting home court like we should, and then we don't go on the road. And the big thing that people want to see is, can Calipari go on the road and get a tough win? We haven't run a real road game since we played Florida, and it took the whole entire ball game to win that ball game. So,
And
you
that's what it's
know,
going to take Saturday. You're going to have to play. You're going to have to play 2 20 minutes, 40 minutes. You're going to have to play full 40 minutes of basketball to win it all.
absolutely, and you guys are coming off. I mean, we beat Ole Miss, and while it's a great win, it's only a great win because we stopped the bleeding at home. We didn't win. I mean, we didn't lose 4 games in a row, so that was good. That's really, but I mean, beat Ole Miss. Kentucky is supposed to beat Ole Miss. It ain't supposed to be something that we rejoice in. It's supposed to happen.
That's
But we're
correct.
looking for that road game to go down in that type of environment. I mean, because we still got to go to Tennessee too as well, and
And
so we can't
but
lose
they
both of them. We got to
no,
get
y'all
one or
can't.
the other. You know,
So a little stat. Everybody's probably wondering because I said it earlier. There's a lot at stake at this game. Kentucky loses, they're going to be fighting for their life to get a double bye.
yeah,
Auburn wins. I mean, let's just be honest. If you lose at Auburn, you're going to be fighting. You're fighting for a double bye. I
yeah,
mean, but also if Auburn wins, here's the thing: Auburn has to beat Tennessee, and Alabama has to lose to Tennessee, and then the SEC will be at a standstill with South Carolina, and Auburn just blew South Carolina out. Now, I personally don't think Auburn beats Tennessee in Tennessee, but there's a stat in this game because I was looking at stats when Michael asked me about this that really blows me away. Auburn and Kentucky. Kentucky 88 points per game. Auburn's averaging 83 points against. Here's the biggest difference in this game, I think. Kentucky's allowing 78 points a game. Auburn's only allowing 66.
yeah.
That's a margin. Another thing about Auburn this year is Auburn's beat everybody. Every game they've won has been by more than 10 points.
And you guys just blew out South Carolina.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, see, and as you brought up that we're giving up 78 points a ball game. I mean, we're ranked 378. I mean, 327th in the country. I mean, that's horrible. And if we have, I mean, if we have any chance of beating you guys in Auburn, then we got to play like we're a top 10 defensive team in the nation. We're not going to go down there unless you guys have a bad shooting night.
Yeah,
Then
which could happen, but
but I mean,
it
at
ain't
home,
happened
people
yet.
usually don't
It's
have a
at
bad
home, so
shooting
no
night at
man.
home. Yeah, at home, it sort of is what it is. Um, Everything else throughout the whole thing is like evenly matched. You
Evenly
guys
matched.
just barely edge us out in rebounds, and in assists or whatever. But at the end of the day, for me, like it comes down to throw out the stats, tip the ball, and who wants this game more. And as you said before, there's a lot on the line for it. I mean, you guys are sitting third, I think, in the with the tiebreaker over SEC. I mean, over South Carolina. So at the end of the day, you guys would jump them for number 2 spot, but just because of how it ends. But I mean, Kentucky setting fifth. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight for us to get. And right now, they're projecting us to be basically an automatic Thursday, a Thursday, playing Thursday. So this game is so important for us to come in, get this win, just psychologically, just for our guys, just for our guys to see, okay, we can go on the road in one of the worst environments in college basketball, not just SEC, but college basketball, and actually get a win. Um, so this is a win that we got to find a way to win this game. It's not the end of the world if we lose, but it makes a world of a difference if we can find a way to pull out this road
That's
win. Because therefore, it takes
Kentucky.
a lot of pressure off the Tennessee game.
And a lot of people ask me, are you worried about Kentucky? Yeah. It's just like I told everybody before last night, was I worried about South Carolina? Yeah. Here's the thing about it. They're playing good basketball. If Kentucky
Yeah,
comes and plays Kentucky basketball, it's gonna be a dogfight. I mean, here's a stat that's kind of crazy to y'all. Since Bruce Pearl has been at Auburn, the record between him and Kentucky is 5-5. That's pretty amazing.
that is. Rick
That's that's a
Barnes. Yeah, I'm
that's
glad he's
amazing
not Rick
stat.
Barnes because Rick Barnes owns Kentucky. Yeah, he owns Calipari.
But I mean,
For
that's a
sure.
stat that a lot of people don't look at like 5-5. That's tremendous to say for Auburn because y'all used to dominate us. But
Yeah.
since Pearl's
Well,
been there, and I mean, I know everybody's gonna in the chat's gonna bring this up. 2019. I know y'all we gave y'all the heartbreak loss in the tournament.
yeah.
That wasn't our fault. They just drew the cards, and that's how it landed, folks.
Well,
But if
uh,
you remember, you beat us in the regular season, so
yeah, we did. But when it
it's hard
mattered
to.
the most, but when it really mattered the most, you guys got the upper hand that year, and you guys was able
Yeah,
to
but it's
advance.
hard to beat a team twice.
It is. It's hard to beat a team twice. So I'm hoping that applies to Tennessee playing us when we go to there too. Hopefully we can return the favor.
And beat
But
them
I
at
mean,
that time. I hope so too.
it's it's so much riding on the line. I've heard you mention before that you guys have a really solid bench.
Yes.
Um,
So let's
I
talk
think
about that
I
for a
think we
minute.
have a
Like,
solid bench too.
well, here's the thing, and I know that everybody's like, well, it's too early in the season. Well, maybe not. So the last 10 national champions. I know this is crazy, and a lot of y'all are going to think I'm crazy by saying this. The last 10 national champions decided in college basketball by February 14th was ranked in the top 10 in offense and defense. There is only two schools right now that is ranked top 10 in offense and defense. That's Kansas and Auburn. That's kind of crazy. Not saying it could happen, but the last 10 times has been decided with somebody inside the top 10 in offense and defense.
You
It's
guys
going to get.
you guys are in the top 10 of defense.
Yes, we're ranked number 10th.
Okay.
I
Well.
looked at it today. According to
Oh,
Ken's thing, we're ranked 10th in defense and third in offense right now, which is
well.
kind of crazy. But I'm just saying, look, I don't be honest with y'all. I think the first one to 70 this Saturday wins.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because we have this thing in Kentucky. The first one's to 70. I think it's the first one to 71 will win the ball game. So it's. I hope. Look, I hope that this is a defensive game. Um, for one reason, I just hope that we show up and that we play defense and that we can get it going early and fast and that we can set that present. One of our guys, Unitso, he had 10 blocks last ball game.
Yeah,
So
it's got that. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, and I've said this all year long. I personally, and I'm an Auburn fan, but I feel like Auburn's got the best point guard in the nation. And a lot of people argue that with me, but the kid is he has his games because he's a freshman. But if you look at what he does defensively and offensively,
yeah,
he's pretty good. And that's Holloway. Holloway is he's a force to reckon with because he's done showed people I just stop at the middle of the field. I just stop in the middle of the court and just shoot it. I don't care. If you're gonna leave me here, I'll just shoot it. And he makes it. That's what's crazy. It's
that
like
sounds
I think he's like 7 out of 10 this year, and that's like really like Steph Curry like crazy stuff. But they asked him why. He's like, if they're gonna leave me open, I'm betting that out of 10 times I'll make it five. So
well. I definitely hope that's on the. I definitely hope that's on the scouting report for sure. Um,
I
you
mean, it
know,
should be. He look what he did to South Carolina. He hit three of them against South Carolina, and the coach still was like, "Y'all was gonna leave him there."
and nobody made the adjustments, huh?
They didn't never made the adjustments because they thought he was gonna miss it.
Well,
Crazy.
I guess in a sense, when you're taking shots that far out, I guess you kind of live and die with it. I guess, but I guess once he
Yeah,
made two of them, I guess at what point do you say, okay, maybe I should jump up and guard this guy just a little bit?
just put some
Maybe
pressure on him. Yeah.
yeah, maybe I should just put a little pressure on him.
But
I look,
Back to Auburn's bench. I mean, you got to look Broom coming off. I mean, Cardwell.
yeah.
It's hard. Them two right there in the paint going back and forth is crazy.
I mean,
And
we got
what's a funny stat that a lot of people don't know is not one player on Auburn's team has played 20 minutes this year.
so these guys are see. Too bad we can't say the same for our team because we got guys that's playing a lot of minutes, man. Uh,
Auburn. That's why they say we have the deepest benches because we're all players are. which is it's a bunch of them. It's like 7 or 8 of them are averaging 15 to 16 minutes a game. But no player on Auburn's team this year has played 20 minutes in a game. That's a
Wow,
little crazy. That's
that
crazy
is
to be
crazy. Because
if
I
you
mean,
know
we
that
got
you
guys. Because we got guys that we be like, look, he don't need to come off the floor ever. Like he just needs to play the whole ball game, every single ball game for real. I
and I'll
mean,
tell you something y'all gonna hear Saturday. You're gonna hear it from every announcer. Every announcer that I've watched this year says this. Auburn, it doesn't matter what five you put out there, each one of them is going to bring something different to the court. You've got to learn how to adjust. And I think that's what threw South Carolina off Wednesday night. Let's just talk about it a little bit. You know, it's like, certain players come out there and do certain things. Well, with Auburn this year, they each bring something different to the table, the style of basketball they play. And I think
okay.
that's what's confusing a lot of folks.
Well, I mean, we got guys coming off the. We got two guys coming off the bench that they're projected like top seven NBA picks, and they're coming off the
Yeah,
bench this year. Uh,
that's
like
what
you got
what's the white
Dillingham,
dude's name?
Shepard,
The big
Reed
7 foot
Shepard,
dude?
huh? Oh,
What?
Big Z. You talking about the seven
Z.
footer? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Big Z. Well, Big Z. He came out the first game, and when he finally came back, and he I don't know if he can't stay healthy. He's not. And here's the thing with Z. Like he's used to being overseas playing with grown men, but for some reason it hasn't translated over here to college basketball. He hasn't brought that. I mean, can he play ball? He can play ball, but it's just kind of like it's what we seen out of him in the first game. We haven't really seen that electrifying like we have since he's been playing. But he
Yeah.
stays sick. He misses practice because he's not healthy or whatever. So it's almost a game to game. Is he going to play? I think he had a couple of games he didn't play since he's even been back into the lineup. Cal hasn't put him in. When he comes in, he gets foul trouble. He's going to when he's in the game. You're gonna know he's in the game because he's gonna either foul, he's gonna hit some threes, and I think that's what's so special about our bench is we got guys that come in and the for us bringing those two guys in, bringing Dillingham and bringing Shepard in off the bench. Those guys bring such electrifying energy. The moment they walk on the court, we go into the plus. Those guys they bring such intensity and such value to what we do here in Kentucky this year is that those guys have to be accounted for. And I think this is going to be such a special basketball game because, like you said in the beginning, a lot of things are riding on this ball game, and I hope that Kentucky's Calipari has really mentally got these guys ready for what's going to go on. Because this ain't high school basketball. They're going into a very very hostile environment, and only the fittest of the fittest can come out of there with a win.
Well, I'm scared about something. I threw a stat that it's 5-5, right, y'all?
Yeah,
I want you to know something. Since uh, Pearl has taken over Auburn, neither Calipari nor Pearl has beat each other twice in a row. It's like Kentucky wins, Auburn wins. That's what scares me about this game is because Auburn won the last matchup last year, if y'all remember. That's why I'm a little scared about it because the history of these two coaches, neither one of them has got a back-to-back win.
okay.
It's been like, okay, Pearl will win, Calipari wins, Pearl wins, Calipari wins, Pearl wins, Calipari wins. Neither one of them has beat each other back to back. Auburn got the last win against y'all. That's why I'm scared.
Well
I
then,
look at
hey,
I look
well,
at that stat and I'm like, oh no.
I hope
But
that I definitely hope that holds up to be the truth then, because I definitely will. I definitely will be keeping that in mind as I watch and get ready for the ball game. That's for sure. Will you guys beat Kentucky on Saturday?
I'm not gonna say yes or no to that, Michael. I hope we beat y'all if we
Yeah.
need to beat y'all.
Okay.
But like I've told you before, this 9 out of 10 times you're gonna get an instant classic when these two play.
Yeah,
Since
it's going to be a
Jonesboro
good
took
game.
over.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great game.
I don't see
Probably gonna.
I don't see it being a blowout.
Oh no.
Hopefully not. Yeah.
I will say this. I'm on another podcast, and I told them at the beginning of the season this is a game that I circle, and I feel like a month ago when Auburn was beating everybody they beat by 10. I made the comment that I don't feel like we beat if we beat Kentucky, we don't beat them by 10, it's going to be Auburn's actually first close to the first game that's really close.
Okay.
Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am because Kentucky always comes to play Auburn hard, and Auburn's going to always go to Kentucky and play Kentucky hard. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter
it means
if
something.
it's in. It means something. It don't matter if it's in Rupp Arena, Neville Arena. It doesn't matter. They're gonna get up, and you might as well. I know a lot of folks probably don't want to hear this, but you might as well say this is a rivalry in basketball that's it's going to go on for a while. It's just
Yeah,
you should classify this now as a rivalry because I understand. Oh well, they're not close enough to be a rivalry. No, this is a rivalry. This is quotably for a long time was the best two teams in the SEC. Now we've got other teams that have stepped up, but
yeah,
for a couple of years there, it was just Auburn and Kentucky.
absolutely. And one thing about it is that the way Kentucky's been playing this year, it's kind of two things. The way Kentucky's been playing this year, Auburn's going to look at that and be like, and they got to come to our house, and they're playing like that. Oh yeah, they going. This is Auburn. They are licking their lips. Can't wait to get Kentucky on that hardwood come Saturday evening. And I think, and you know what? I think Duke is playing FSU. Kansas is playing Oklahoma, and we're playing you guys, and we have the last game of the day for the triple header blockbuster games for the day. So that says a lot about this type of game right here. You can have Kansas, who's you know, who those guys who they just want to say that they got a really great chance of winning the championship. But they take a Kentucky. One thing about Kentucky is that Kentucky's always going to get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to where should we put these games. Where should we play these guys at the end of the day? And Kentucky's always going to try to get that primetime game. That's for sure. And we like to take we like to take little teams like Auburn along with us, and get them, hey, get them some showtime. You know what I'm saying? Because Kentucky's going to get that showtime as much. But this
Yeah,
is,
it's
this is really, really going to be one of those games where it's just kind of, you know, until the ball is tipped, everything goes out the window, and who wants it best? Because Auburn don't want to lose at home. Kentucky needs this win more than I think more than Auburn because our fan
actually
base, you know,
actually Michael. I just looked at it. There's a quad. It's not. It's a how do you say this? It's a quadruple header because I was looking at ESPN schedule for Saturday, and
okay,
there's four big games. I mean, a lot of y'all are gonna be like, "Well, the first game ain't that big." No, there's a lot of influence on that first game at 11 o'clock. And I
who's
was just
playing?
looking. It's Alabama and Texas A&M on ESPN.
That's big game. Where they playing at?
That,
Texas A&M.
no, they're playing in Alabama, but that's still a
Okay.
big game. So, and then behind them, you got Duke and Florida State. That's a big
Yeah.
game. Then you're gonna have Kansas and Oklahoma. That's
Yeah.
going to
That's
be a good
big.
game.
That's
And then you
big.
have Auburn and Kentucky. There's a full slate of basketball on ESPN Saturday. You could just stay on ESPN all day and catch four good games. Wow.
I love Kentucky, but this game's not going in Kentucky's favor. If Auburn wins, they win by 18 to 22 points. Okay, Auburn. I appreciate that. Thank you. But you know what? This is sort of a reflection of where we kind of at right now as Kentucky fans. And this is very uncharacteristics of our fans. It's completely uncharacteristics of what Kentucky stands for and how Kentucky plays basketball. So this is just, and I get, and he watches my shows and really, really big supporter. Thanks, Alden. I really appreciate it. But I understand where he's coming from. And I will tell you, he's not the only Kentucky fan out there that feels that way. There's a lot of Kentucky fans that feel just like that. I mean, there's a lot of fans that still believe. There's a lot of fans who still riding with Kentucky, and he is too as well. It's not like he's like not
Yeah, I
riding with
understand what he's
Kentucky,
saying.
but because of like how we've been playing and how we go on the road, and we need to win at real road, at real road test. We need that win up on our belt. We just don't know. We don't know
I
which
got a,
Kentucky team's going to show up.
I got a question, and I guess it's to be the best show to talk about this. I've seen a lot on Twitter this week, and I want some Kentucky fans to answer me
Okay.
this honestly. I've seen a lot of Twitter this week to where Kentucky fans out there is saying that if Auburn blows Calipari out by more than 20 points, y'all want him out of Kentucky before the end of the year. Do y'all really want him out of Kentucky?
A lot of
Because
people
he's
do,
having.
man.
I
Like
mean, honestly though, let's think about that, y'all. Do you really want Calipari out of Kentucky?
a
Who you
lot
gonna
of
get
people
to
do.
replace? I know a lot of y'all do, but who are y'all really gonna get to replace him to do what he's done at Kentucky? I mean, let's be honest. I understand he's having a down year, but he can't be at the top every year. There's not a team out there that can do it.
Well, okay. As a Kentucky fan, I won't say Cal's having a down year. I'm saying he's having a down years, and it's
Okay,
just
well,
it's now. Am I sitting here advocating for Cal to be fired? Me personally, no. Um, but the people, I understand why a lot of the fan base feels the way they do, is because this is not Kentucky basketball. Like Gonzaga is not good. You got Gonzaga is not good. We didn't beat them. We didn't make the necessary adjustments at the end of the game against Florida to beat Florida. We didn't beat Florida. We should have beat Florida. We let UNCW come in and beat us. Every year we're giving up these very very bad losses at home. Kentucky doesn't protect home court anymore. We don't do it. And a lot of fans would tell you they just don't think it means anything to Calipari. And for Calipari, it's just about who can I put in the NBA this year and who can I go get next year to put in the NBA. So it's one of those things where it's like we want to get back to our tradition. Like Auburn's not afraid of us. UNCW is not afraid of us. People come to Rupp Arena like I say it all the time. Kids beg their coaches to put Kentucky on their schedules at Rupp Arena because they have that much
well, listen,
confidence that if they can come in there and if they can just shoot the ball good enough, they have a good shot of beating Kentucky in Rupp Arena. And because of that, that's just not Kentucky basketball. Like teams are supposed to be like, you know what? Let's think twice before we play Kentucky at Rupp Arena. You know what I'm saying? So and it's not like that anymore. And because of that, a lot of fans are just like saying, look, Kentucky basketball is just not the same. We're not winning SEC championships anymore. We're not going to Final Fours anymore. And I get it. It's hard. Anybody get on the road, and especially in a tournament, any teams get hot. Anything can happen. But Kentucky's supposed to make it towards the. We're supposed to make it past the second weekend every single year, like hands down. If we
I
and with
agree with
all
that.
the
I do
talent that
agree
we
with that.
got,
Y'all
so
should.
it's let me put it like this. It's a very delicate topic, and a lot of people really have their ways, and a lot of people have, what I'm saying, what they feel. But yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Michael, you want to break something real quick?
What's that?
So, ladies and gentlemen, it just come over ESPN that Nate Oates is talking to Ohio State. How do you think that makes Alabama feel to consider they're sitting at number one in the SEC right now? That their head coach is fixing to betray them. Hmm,
Wow.
that's massive. I'm sorry. If you're that low down to go talk to another school while you're in the middle of basketball season
Yeah,
and you're
that's pretty
currently
bad.
number one,
Yeah,
there's a problem.
it is. It's
And
something
if
going
he
on there.
leaves, there's something got to be going on for him to leave. I just seen it. It just popped up that he has officially talked to Ohio State. That is
Wow.
wrong.
Yeah, during the regular season, absolutely.
And
Make
you're
it.
number one in the SEC right now?
Yep.
Stop.
You trying to secure your spot in the tournament as well too.
If I
Mm,
was them kids,
yeah,
I would play like crap for the rest of the year.
yeah. Chris,
That's
hey,
just me.
um, Chris said, Cal
Allen,
ain't getting fired.
I didn't
Stop.
say he was getting fired.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling you what Kentucky fans are saying, Chris, that if Auburn blows Kentucky out by more than 20, they want him gone.
Oh, well, and you know what, Kenny? To be honest, man, even I wasn't really sure, what was going to happen with Ole Miss at home. Did I feel like we can beat Ole Miss? Yeah, I feel like we can beat everybody, and I'm just being honest. But I would have hated to lost to Ole Miss at home. I would have hated to seen what happens after that, because going into that ball game, it was so much fire, and I think just temporarily because we was able to get that win against Ole Miss. That put the fire out a little bit. If you want to put the fire out some more, you definitely got to go down to Auburn and get this win. It's still not going to change a lot of people's mind about Calipari because people who are just people who feel like, hey, this is how I feel about Calipari. Period. Winning at Auburn probably is not going to change that at all, too, as well. But winning does make things a little bit better, and it helps people to at least last another day. Um, you know, so at least they can. Okay, we got one more game. We'll give you one more game or whatever. So
Chris,
that's
he
why it's a lot. It's a lot on this game, man. It really is, and people want to go see people want to see Cal go win a big game on the road in a hostile environment.
yep.
And this game right here is one of those games where can he go down there and can he not get out coached by Bruce Pearl, and can he find a way down the stretch if needed to make sure that we can hold on and get this win. I think that's what it
Yep.
is.
Another thing, Chris, it's there's nowhere that says he can't because he come out last week and said, "Oh, that would be a great place for me to coach," and that they have great talent. So that's bull. I mean, I know he was talking about it. So Nate Oates don't care. I mean, look what happened last year, but we're not going to talk about that because we're going to let that go.
Yeah. So
Now the kid
hopefully,
ain't even playing in the NBA, so
yeah. So hopefully Kentucky can go down and definitely get this
I
and
hope y'all don't
get
win.
this
But like
win.
I
Yeah.
told you earlier, there's I know a lot of people like history don't mean nothing, but since Pearl's been there, neither coaches beat each other back to back times. That kind of scares me, considering Auburn won the last one last year against y'all. A lot of factors, 44-2 is at home. Eventually, it's got to be broke. I think
Yeah.
Auburn's won like I want to say it's like 28, 29 at home in a row, 30 maybe. It's
Yeah.
eventually going to be broke. I know
I,
it's going
me-
to be broke. I'd
I
rather it be
remember
broke by than
I
Kentucky.
remember when we I remember when we used to have those high numbers winning at home, and people didn't come in and win. But that's not the case anymore. People come to Rupp Arena and beat us all the time now. So
But I would
it's
rather Kentucky beat
it's
me than
embarrassing.
Alabama beat me at home. So
What's that?
I'd rather Kentucky beat us at home than Alabama. And
I mean, and trust me, if anybody knows you well, they know you hate Alabama.
I hate them.
So
I
yeah,
would rather I would
yeah,
rather lose at home to Kentucky or Tennessee than Alabama.
yeah. I guess
I
that's
thought
true.
South Carolina was going to beat us last night, to be honest with you, because I've been high on South Carolina since the beginning of the season because I've seen something in them. I don't know what I've seen. I just seen, they were playing basketball like a team at the
They are,
beginning,
man, and
and
their
they
head coach
scared me
might get
last
coach
night.
of the year. Yeah, their head coach
I
might
don't.
get SEC coach of the year. Yeah,
If he don't, I think it's rigged because that dude won 11 games last year, and he's on pace to win 23, 24,
sure
22,
is.
23,
Yep.
24.
And I
That's
think they was picked to be like number 12 or 11 in 11 or 12 in the SEC this year. Yep. So they
what is it? We don't
we
need to
don't
get
need to
off.
get off a 12 0 start unless it's us. I wish we'd get off to a 12-0 start. We just can't let you guys come out and just cause havoc in the first 5 minutes of the ball game. Like we need to come out and we need to set the tone and we need to show that we're going to be physical. And I think that's what we lack at times. And I think that's a complaint of the Wildcats of the fans is we're not physical and we let teams just push around, and that's what happened against Gonzaga. Um, we got a little bit of that as well against Ole Miss, but good thing um, we was able to control the game the way we wanted to, and we was able to get that W. But for sure, if we can get this win, I mean it's gonna feel good. It really is. And if we don't win, it's deflating because you just keep asking when's Kentucky gonna be back to the way Kentucky is, the way Kentucky is supposed to be, and getting a win over Auburn on the road at this environment. We're fighting for our life for a double bye. It's not going to be easy. Probably we got one of the hardest finishes. Probably I haven't looked at everybody else's schedule, but I
Auburn's
mean,
got a match. We still got to go to Tennessee. We got to play. Hold on, I can tell you. I got
So
Auburn pulled up.
you know, going to Tennessee, going to Auburn, still gotta welcome Alabama in the number one team in the SEC. Still got to go on the road to Mississippi State.
We
I
got to
mean,
go to Georgia, got to go to Tennessee, play y'all at home. Then we play Mississippi State. Then we got to go to Missouri, and then we play Georgia. That's our remaining schedule.
that's a pretty easy schedule, Kenny.
Yeah, it is. Besides
Yeah,
Kentucky and
hey,
Tennessee,
but you know what? One thing about it though, the SEC this year, crazier things have happened.
it has.
Our,
Let's.
we, yeah, crazier
Who
things
was
have
it?
happened.
Was it A&M that beat Tennessee at home?
I think it was A&M who beat
Yeah,
Tennessee.
A&M beat Tennessee at home. That was
I
absurd.
know South Carolina beat them at home.
South Carolina beat them at home too.
Yeah. I know South Carolina. I have to
I
go back
mean,
and check
y'all.
the Tennessee game. I mean, the Tennessee and A&M game, but I know South Carolina beat them at home.
Yeah, y'all
Beat
got
them
a
at
pretty
home
rough.
pretty good too. Yeah,
Y'all
they
got a
gave
pretty
them a
rough end
spanking.
this schedule too, Michael. Y'all got to go after us. Y'all got to go to LSU, play Alabama at home, go to Mississippi State. Then we get into March. You got to play Arkansas at home and Vanderbilt at home. Should
And
win, but
yeah,
let's say this now. I don't know what's going on with Vanderbilt. It seems like this is what they do. They wait till the end of the year to start beating people. It's two
hey,
years in a row that it's happened.
I
I'm
tell
not gonna
you
say
what,
nothing
man,
about it though.
they threw a wrench in it. I mean, they threw a wrench in it when they went and found a way to beat Texas A&M. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
they did. They threw a
Yeah, they
massive
did.
wrench.
Yeah, I don't. I yeah. If
That's
it,
why I don't never count them out now.
it's I'm pretty sure a lot of people lost money for that. That's for sure. I'm pretty sure people lost a lot of games. So before we get out of here, what's your score prediction?
I'm gonna say 75. I'm gonna say 75-70. Auburn.
Okay. Well, that means that you guys will beat us because you guys got the 71 before us, the 71 point
Right.
rule.
Yep.
Uh, for me, I'm gonna go. I think Kentucky comes out. I think Edwards has been playing better ball. He's been improving. He's improving. I think our defense will improve an extra 10% from what it did from Ole Miss. We're gonna just keep growing. I think it's gonna be a. I think it's gonna be a. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 77 Kentucky.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good game, and definitely look for it. Oh, absolutely. Chris said Georgia is no pushover. No,
They're not
Georgia's
no
not a
pushover.
pushover. Y'all got to go at Georgia, or y'all play Georgia at home.
I think we go to Georgia.
Okay, yeah,
I'm with
Georgia's
it.
not a pushover, man. Y'all, I
I'm with
mean,
it.
y'all probably beat them, but that's not something that can just go in the bag and say we're just gonna beat them because
Well,
Georgia.
the first one in February we go to them. The last game of the season they come to us. We play Georgia twice.
Okay. So that ain't
That ain't no
um,
pushover.
so we just got to see what happens, man. We just really hope that Kentucky can come out and play ball. This is not going to be an easy game. Auburn is definitely looking to hold on to that double bye that they're in right now. It's theirs to lose, and all I know all the pressures on Kentucky. A lot of pressures on Kentucky in so many different ways. That's for sure. And Kentucky's got to come out and find a way to actually get this win. And if we do, you know, that takes some pressure off the Tennessee game because we can't lose both of them. We can lose one of them, but we can't lose both of them. That's for sure. And it's not going to be easy in winning in Knoxville as well too. So we got to get one of them. So we might as well start now, and we need that quality quad one win for
Yeah,
sure. I
y'all
know
do.
that's really good. So hey, Kenny, I know you got a lot of stuff going on as well too. I know you're starting a new podcast and everything. Where
Yes,
can
I
people
am.
find you at?
You can find me on College Football Dog, second to none. Watch College Sports Villains tonight. There will be a major announcement on College Sports Villains. I will share it out about my podcast tonight. You will be able to find me on it. There is a major announcement. It will be called Tumors Talk. But there's a major announcement that transpired yesterday that has been kept quiet because I was asked for it. I asked for it to keep quiet. I wanted to announce it. So we are announcing it on Villains tonight. Um, and my hopeful is within the next 2 to 3 months, I will be going live every week with my show. I'm working some kinks out now, but any of y'all that's out here listening, I hope that y'all tune in to me. You can come on my show anytime you want. Anybody out there, I don't mind. I'll have anybody on my show. We can talk. My show's gonna be a little different, not what people expect out of me. You're still gonna get the rants out of me. That's just who I am, and I'm sorry. I just They're never gonna let that out of me.
I got
But
you.
there's a little different side of me of my show that you'll just have to wait and see that everybody's like, you can't do that. Yes, I can. I can do it. It just takes, you know.
I got
We'll
you.
see. Y'all let's see.
Yeah. So I guess I should say good luck to you guys Saturday. I don't mean it. That's a formality, I
Good luck to
guess.
you, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna wish each other good luck, but
Yeah. That's definitely a formality. But yeah, let the better team win on Saturday, and let's see what happens. Kenny, thanks
hey,
for jumping on with me. What's up, Kenny?
who's eight? I can't say your name, buddy.
Alden.
Parker, Alden Parker.
He's a
Um,
Kentucky fan. He's
if you
on.
want,
Yeah, he watches all my shows.
if you don't mind, I'm gonna hit you with a friends request on Facebook, and I'll send you the link to Villains tonight so you
Okay,
can watch
cool.
it.
Okay.
If that's okay with you, Mr. Parker,
Yeah, yeah.
because you seem
Um,
like a pretty cool. You've been out in here, throwing check
so
comments. I like your comments, Chris.
appreciate it.
Chris, you're gonna always gonna say something bad about Vanderbilt. I gotta say this. You know what? Okay, you maybe y'all did travel, but you won. Be grateful that you won a game. Okay.
Yeah, we got to get this win, man, for real. So thank
I'm
you guys
hoping
for
y'all
tuning.
lose, but I've seen
Yeah,
crazier things happen.
yeah, I've seen crazy things happen, and then and the crazy thing was see Auburn beating Kentucky. That would be crazy, right there. So yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So hey, thank you guys for tuning in to the Loyal BBN Fan Show. This is my friend Kenny. If you on Twitter, please follow me at Big Mike 2014-23. Follow me on YouTube at the Loyal BBN Fans. I appreciate all you guys. Go Cats, and let's get this win over Auburn. Appreciate it. Thanks, Kenny. I appreciate your
Yeah.
time.
Yes, sir.